Good evening, Moorhead Junior Gold fans. Live here from the Bushy Rink tonight as Moorhead's going to take on Eagan. Filling in for my colleague, Mr. Krebs, tonight. And underway here. Eagan dumps it in deep. Cullen Pink from behind his own goal line. Looking for a breakout pass. Finds Braden Chandler. Chandler chips it in. Goes on neck. Eagan goaltender. Tries to fire it off. Chandler able to hold it in, and Eagan sends it out to center ice. Pink up along the far side. Up for Judd. Monroe. Judd carries in along the far side. Gets bumped off the puck. Now Eagan rings it around to the near side. Larson steps up on the foul board to dump it deep. And Moorhead goes to finish some line changes. Eagan's exit attempt goes the distance, and that'll be an icing against Eagan. So second matchup of the year here between Moorhead and Eagan. They met up in Moorhead's home tournament. Eagan coming out ahead on that one. And I believe it was a 5-4 win. Clucked in to take this face off. He's got Cook and Johnson with him. Now in behind the net. Eagan works on an exit pass. That's intercepted by Larson. Loose puck comes in on Welch. He'll leave it for Warzeka. Warzeka to Johnson. Johnson unable to clear. Larson blocks that one up front. Puck caught up in his gear for a moment because he didn't know where it was at. Out behind the goal line. Warzeka pushes it to the corner. Cook now hands it off to Cluck. Unable to clear. Now Larson in front of his own net. Gets it up to Brody Johnson. Brody Johnson turns it over, but Warzeka there to clear out up ahead to Cook. Cook with Cluck. A shot, rebound. Cluck on the back door, got tied up just as he was looking to shoot. And that one's cleared up off the glass and out of play. So just 2 minutes into the first period here. Face-off coming down in the Eagan zone. Face-off comes with a point to Klosterman. Klosterman hands it off to Packle. Packle steps in. Centering pass. Oh, and Carter Lee on the back door, and Carter Lee sends it wide. Klosterman sends one in deep. That goes off the defender. Out through center ice. Spud spinning back the other direction. Packle in on the forecheck. Carter Lee along with Walter Gustafson out here with Packle on the forward side. Sarian steps up. Eagan player side steps him, dumps it in low. Centering pass, hits some skates up front, goes to the far corner. Packle unable to corral it. Eagan sends it to the near side. And Sarian able to punch it free. Gustafson hands it off to Carter Lee. Carter Lee up ahead. Dumps it in low. Gustafson gives chase. And Eagan back up to the center ice. They chip it in on net. We're also playing off to the sideboards. So Monroe Judd will pick up the loose puck. Judd skates it in wide on the right side. As his teammates are making changes, he's all alone. Judd picks up the loose puck, centering puck. And Braden Chandler from a sharp angled shot, but goaltender makes that big save. Beautiful work there by Monroe Judd. Took the puck in deep, bought some time as his teammates were making changes. Stayed with it, found a loose puck, and found a cutting Braden Chandler. Referee's setting the net to make sure it stays on its pegs. Skank steps in to take the face off with Chandler and Judd. Wins it over to Judd. Judd to the point. Pink dumps it in low. Eagan up to the new boards. Krebs clears it out to the neutral zone. Skink hands it off to Chandler. That's just out of his reach. And Eagan will spin back and get everybody settled in. Turned around. Pink dumps it in. Eagan now spins it back through center ice. Up one-on-one, side step, poke check away by Krebs. Now Chandler upfield. Spuds on the rush up the right side. Sharp angle shot by Chandler. Loose puck comes up towards Echo. Warzeka's shot deflects off the stick. And Eagan flips that one up into the netting. And we'll get a whistle and a face-off coming in the Eagan zone. Walked in to take this face-off. Wins it back to Larson. Larson's shot. Rebound loose. Now clucked behind the net. Centering pass. Gets through everybody. Comes to Warzeka at the point. He'll throw it in on net. Luck battles into the corner. Now he leaves it for Brody Johnson. Eagan, point attempt, stolen away by Warzeka. His shot. Blocker save there by the goaltender for Eagan. Now Larson steps up. He rings it all the way around to the far side. Warzeka will step up with it. He'll dump it down low. Hodek hands it off the clock. Clock centering pass. Hodek shot and pad save there by the goaltender from Eagan. Klosterman feeds it down low. Gustafson behind the net. Now Gustafson and Packle work along the near boards out to the point to Sarian. He throws it softly on net. Goaltender deflects it to the sideboards. Packle intercepts that. Sharp angle shot. Scores! Jamison Packle gets the Spuds on the board. And we got a 1-0 game. 9:45 left here in the first period. Packle puts the Spuds on the board. He intercepts that pass from Eagan, and right from the top of the faceoff circle, beats the goaltender glove side. Eagan gets up to the red line and dumps it in. Sarian down low, centering pass up front. Puck tied up in some skates, and Packle able to finally clear. Packle intercepts the pass, sidesteps one defender. Centering pass, Gustafson, shot, save, loose puck, comes out to Sarian at the point. Sarian shot it off his skate and down to the corner. Now Gustafson, Carter Lee from the point, throws it in on net, and glove save held on to by the netminder Corey Eagan. Yeah. Puck in the near court, Chandler hands it off to Skank. Skank loses it to the corner. Judd with pressure. He gets it to Chandler, now hands it out to Skank. Skank shot and save right into the belly of the Eagan goaltender. Skank steps in to take this face off. He wins it back to Krebs. Krebs steps up. Tries to hold, but Eagan able to punch it free. Now Eagan on a breakaway up ahead. Shot there. Wells with the blocker save. Ward tries to clear. Shot there. Just goes wide. That one's blocked by Pink. Now Chandler, collision here along the near boards, and Spud's able to clear. Eagan dumps it into the Moorhead zone. Krebs will pick it up behind the goal line. He'll leave it to his partner, Pink. Pink up off the glass, down deep. Eagan gathers it. Braden Chandler on the forecheck. Eagan cross ice to D. Now long lead pass, just off the defender's stick. Rosecka will chip it up ahead. Chandler up through center ice. Braden Chandler sidesteps two players, but can't get through the traffic. Now held in. Cluck, fresh off the bench, tries to throw a backhander, and he gets tied up. Now Cluck will send it low. Cluck picks it up. Comes Cluck bouncing free through the center ice, and Eagan will pick it up. Eagan dumps it in at the blue line. Brody Johnson carries it through. He gets tripped up as he clears out the center ice, and we got a tripping call or a hooking call coming up against Eagan. So 7:18 remaining here in the first period. Spuds lead 1-0. First power play of the evening goes to the Spuds. Tackle will be out here with Walter Gustafson and Carter Lee. Pink and Klosterman at the blue line. Face off one back to Pink. Pink hands it off to Carter Lee. Carter Lee walks it in low. Finds Packel behind the net. He tries a center pass shot. Walter shot and saved by Eagan. Quick movement there of the puck of the Spuds leads to a quick opportunity. Side step. Walter's shot just goes wide. Now Carter Lee spins up front. Throws a shot on net and scores. Carter Lee with a backhander. Flips one up and over the shoulder of the Eagan goaltender, and it's a 2-0 lead on the power play goal by Carter Lee. So Cluck will step out with Hodak and Brody Johnson. Comes back to Warzeka. Warzeka up along the board. Out of Hodak's reach. Eagan back through center ice. Warzeka steps up to poke it up ahead. Now Eagan carries it in. Larson banks it off the boards, but not out. Brody Johnson goes cross ice for Hodak. His pass for Cluck. No, I don't think so. Now Hodak carries it into the zone. Eagan punches it out. Warzeka steps up at the red line. He'll chip it in. Cluck, first one to give pressure. Now Brody Johnson puts in pressure down low. Steals it away. Eagan gathers. Larson steals it away and punches it back low. Long lead pass. Too far for everybody. And that one's an icing on Eagan. Got a little she shanty music going on here today. Eli Stink steps in to take the face off on this one. He's got Judd and Chandler on the wings. Syrian and Klosterman at the blue line. Eagan controls through center ice. They're content to throw it on net, and we'll also just glove that and hang on to it. .547 remaining here in the first period. Spuds lead 2-0. Eagan controls out the faceoff. They dump in wide of the net. Chandler works along the near boards. along with Sarian. Loose puck comes out front. Sarian ties him up. Gets the shot off anybody. Wells with the pad save. Penalty coming up against Moorhead. And I believe Welsh is the guilty party on that penalty. He didn't like the guy in his crease. So penalties on Welsh. It looks like Skank's the one that's going to sit it for him. Eagan gets out to the point. Eagan on the power play here for the next 2 minutes. Loose puck, top of the face-off circle, out to the point. Quick shot there, pad save by Welsh to the corner. Moorhead unable to clear. Chandler battles along the board. Eagan now goes cross ice. Pressured, unable to get it free as Judd was pressuring at the point. Centering pass, picked up by Pink, and he's able to flip it out to center ice, and Eagan will have to get back on side. Krebs steps up. Krebs rings it around to the near side. Eagan unable to hold at the point, and they'll have to get back out neutral and get on side. Chandler unable to clear. Shot in, deflected away by Braden Chandler. Spuds ringing around to the far boards. Eagan dumps it in low. Pink steps up. Pink battles along the corner. Dug free by Monroe Judd. And Judd able to get out and clear as the Spuds make changes on their power penalty kill. Eagan up ahead. Krebs stepped up, tried to steal it away. Sidestep, that shot into the corner wide of the net. Eagan picks it up along the far board. Centering pass deflected behind the net by Krebs. Now to the far side. Now out to the point. Eagan cycles up front. Big save there by Wells. The rebound just goes wide. Brody Johnson unable to ground that pass. Now Eagan down low. And just as that puck goes up into the netting, that's penalty expires and Moorhead back to full strength. 3:27 left here in the second period, first period. Spuds lead 2-0. Both teams back to 5 aside. Faceoff comes out to the point. Poke kicked away by Packle. He's got Carter Lee 2-on-1. Oh, Packle's pass too far for Lee. Lee sends it on net. Oh, just centering pass deflects off the player behind the net. Now Eagan back up through center ice. It's a race for it. And we'll always bet on Caden Larson to win those races. Good job there by Caden on the back check. And we're going to get a penalty on Moorhead for holding. As Carter Lee was tied up on a stick against the Eagan player. So Lee will go to the box for holding, and Eagan will go back on the power play. So 3 minutes remaining here in the period. Eagan goes back on their second power play. Skank with the face-off. Eagan dumps it in low. And Skank able to pick up the loose puck and chip it out through center ice. Skank up ahead, short-handed opportunity. Shot there and a glove save by the Eagan goaltender. Skank had the goaltender ducking for that one as he went top shelf. Skank can take the face off. Eagan controls. They bank it up along to the far near boards. Now they go cross ice up through center ice. Up to the near side. Centering pass comes out to the point. Shot there, and Welsh will suck that one up and hold on to it for a whistle. And Moorhead will get some fresh skaters out there on the defensive side to kill the rest of this penalty. 1:27 remaining in the power play for Eagan. Face-off comes back to the point. Shot deflects off of two players. Krebs and Eagan players tumble in behind the board. Eagle circles around, setting up their point. Goes three by Monroe Judd. Judd up ahead on the rush. He's all by himself. Sidesteps one player. Rolls it in on net. Judd continues to forecheck. Gets up to the boards, or Krebs will step up and hold it in. And Eagan will finally chip it free to the far side. Cluck and Monroe Judd out here with Pink and Krebs. Quick shot there. Pass saved by Wells. That blaster goes wide of the net by Eagan. Now another one from the point. Shot there. And Wells will glove that one as it looked like it went off of Krebs up front. 36 seconds remaining here in the power play for Eagan. Walter Gustafson in to take this face off. Eagan able to control. They get it out to the point. On front. Quickly through the zone. Now back out to the point goes Eagan. That pass is deflected away by Pink. Shot there. Bad save by Wells as he gets a toe on it. And Walter able to get it out to center ice and didn't make Eagan get onside. Eagan now carries it back in deep. Klosterman gets a stick onto that, and Welch will glove that down for a whistle with 4 seconds remaining in the man advantage for Eagan. 1:04 remaining here in the period. 4 seconds remaining in the man advantage for Eagan. Face off win to Larson. Look there behind his net and bring it around to the far board. Tackle chips it out to center ice. Moorhead back to full strength as Stink comes out of the bench. Lee down low. Gives it to Tackle. Tackle back to Lee. Morzeka was sneaking right down the lane, looking for a centering pass. Gustafson and Tackle work down low, but Eagan able to come free with it. And the exit pass intercepted by Larson. Eagan picks it up at center ice. Quick shot there on the back end, saved by Wells. Tackle to check up against the boards. And Larson's going to draw a penalty as he gets tripped up. So 12 seconds remaining here in the period. Moorhead will go on their second power play opportunity. There's 12 seconds remaining here in this period, so it would be an abbreviated one before the remainder of it will start in the second period. Cluck in to take the face off. Brody Johnson and Hodak on the wings. Face off comes out to Larson at the point. His shot wide of the net. Brings it around to Warzeka. He dumps it in low. And Egan's just going to pinch that up against the boards. And we'll let the clock run down. And that's the end of period number 1. So after one complete period of play, Buds lead Egan 2-0. We'll get a quick timeout here and be right back with period number 2. All right, here we are, period number 2 underway. We'll head on the power play. Carter Lee sends it up to Packle, and Packle chips it up ahead, but they're saying no touch there, so that's icing on Moorhead. Fosterman and Sarian with Packle, Gustafson, and Carter Lee on this power play unit. Face off one back to Klosterman. He rings it on the board for Lee. Lee up through center ice. He'll dump it in deep. Now Packle will pick up the loose puck. He hands it out to Carter Lee. Carter centering pass. That goes right through the crease. Sarian will step up to hold it in. And Gustafson will tap it down low to Packle. Packle working down low. Centering pass. Gustafson's shot just goes wide. Carter Lee swings out. Shot and scores. Carter Lee with his second power play goal of the day. And the Spuds now lead 3-0. So back to 5 aside. Skink brings that face off back to Larson. He goes to the near side to Judd. He hands it through center ice and picked off by Eagan, and Egan's in the zone offside. Face off one to the far side to Krebs. Krebs gets it up through center of Judd. Judd tries to sidestep one player, gets punched free, and Egan clears it. Refs say it's touched up, so no icing. Krebs leaves up along the near boards, and Egan will touch it up, and that'll be an offsides on Egan. Skink will take this face off. Just outside the Moorhead zone. He wins it back to Pink. Pink chips it up ahead to Judd. Egan spins it back around the other way. Now Krebs leaves it back to Skank. Egan steals it through center zone. Centering pass goes wide of everybody. Egan player loses an edge, walking in low. And Moorhead will chip it off the glass and out to center ice. Turnover, picked up by Braden Chandler. Chandler sidesteps the player, loses it. Loose puck up front, but nobody can get a stick on it. And back comes Egan the other way. Pinched off by Cullen Pink. And matching penalties here against Braden Chandler and a player from Egan. The referee says still playing 5 aside with 13:06 remaining here in the second period. Still matching minors. We'll still skate 5 aside. Puck in to take this face off. Punched in deep. Warzeka chips it up ahead. Now Larson banks it off the board. Loose along the near board. Egan chips it up. Warzeka picks it up. He leaves the centering pass. Cook loses that center ice, and Egan carries it back in the other direction. Now picked up by Caden Larson. He enters up to Cluck. Cluck steps on the stick and goes down. Cluck Cook dumps it in deep. Brody Johnson will give chase. Now Larson steps up. Caden Larson's shot just goes wide of the net. Now Warzeka steps up. Warzeka's backhander goes on net, saves. Now held in at the point by Larson. And Eagan dumps it back out to center ice, and Caden Larson will chase it down. Caden, long lead pass up for Gustafson. Gustafson in ahead, leaves it for Paco. Shot, backhander, save, covered up. Nice speed there by Walter. Finding Jameson cutting down the crease. 11:48 remaining here in the second period. Paco picks up the puck, tries to center it. Now Walter hands it off to Paco. Up to the point to Syrian. Stolen away by Eagan, and Eagan comes back away with numbers 3-on-2. In and around, sharp angle shot there, saved by Wells. Klosterman battles in down low. Eagan able to control low. Syrian blocks that centering pass. Now thrown away finally by Paco. Paco leads the rush for the Spuds. He gets it up ahead. And now Paco's going to get a penalty. And there's the whistle. The coincidental minors are over. Now Paco will go to the box. And Eagan will go back on the power play with just under 11 minutes remaining. So Eagan back on the power play with just under 11 minutes remaining. They control out to the point. Skate out here with Judd. Shot there blocked by Pink. Pink continues to pressure over the blue line. Eagan able to hold. They throw a shot on net. Wells with a pad save. Now Eagan back to the blue line. Comes around to the near side. Sharp angle shot there. That hit a body up front. Eagan moves the puck around the far side. Now stolen away by Krebs. Krebs unable to clear. Now Eagan on the near side. Defenseman walks it to the far side. Sharp angle shot there, deflected up into the air. Now Eagan puts a free, and Skate finally gets a stick on it and able to clear. Eagan spins it quickly back into the other direction. Step up by Krebs, and Krebs steals it away. Krebs up ahead, one-on-one. Krebs shot there, misses high up into the glass. Krebs continues to pisser. Picks up the loose puck at the red line and dumps it in deep. Now Eagan punches it out to center ice. Cross ice pass. Eagan's making changes. Big collision up front as Judd takes out a player. Clark tried to find Krebs, but Krebs skated off with his back behind the back of the puck, and that shot on net will be gloved and hung on to by Wells. 17 seconds remaining here in the penalty kill for Moorhead. Luck will take this face off for the Spuds. Eagan sends it up to the point. Quick shot there, high up into the glass. Brody Johnson pressures along the near boards. Picked away by Warzeka. Warzeka gets it, flips it out off the glass, up ahead to Brody. Brody spins around, waits for help. Centering pass, picked off by Eagan. Moorhead back to full strength. Quick shot there, and Loros will glove that and hang on to it for a whistle. 8:41 remaining here in the second. We are back to 5 skaters aside. Skink wins that face off back to Warzeka. Warzeka gets it up to the point. Touched up by an Eagan player, so no icing. Eagan, goaltender tries to clear it out the center. It's picked off by Larson. And Larson into the zone offside as Spuds are trying to all touch up. Gustafson in to take this face off. Gustafson chips it into the zone. Eagan sends it back out. Now it goes back to Klosterman. Klosterman, turnover in his own zone. Centering pass, deflected away. Nice Sarian, and Klosterman able to clear. Eagan will chip it in. I don't understand the whistle. It's delayed offsides. Yep, ref says it's my fault. Ref will click on the whistle there. Forget that we got delayed offside with junior goal. Eagan dumps it in from beyond the red line. Aiden Klosterman will get to it in the near corner. Loose puck comes out front. Gets picked up by Gustafson. He'll leave it along the boards for Cardelie. Cardelie tries to bank it outside, but Eagan able to hold. Centering pass, shot there. Big save by Wells. Big shot there. Wells will save that. Squeeze the pads. And cover it up for a whistle. $7:39 remaining here in the second period. Bud's leading Eagan 3-0. Skank will step in to take this face off. Skank wins it back. Krebs banks it off the glass. Judd just punches out the center ice. Skank sends it over to Chandler. Chandler drops it off for Skank. Skank turns in wide. Looking for a passing lane. Gets it out to Pink at the point. Pink holds it in low. And punch free by Eagan out the center ice. And Pink will have to get everybody on side. Krebs up the near side to Judd. Gets up to Chandler. Now Judd supports and carries it in. Steps to the center. Gets it to Chandler. Chandler's shot goes wide. Sharp angle shot there by Skank. Just goes through the crease and wide of the net. Now Chandler skates up through the center of the ice. Poke checked away by Eagan. Chandler leaves it low for Judd. He gives chase. Eagan's clearing attempt picked off by Pink. Cullen, centering pass. Gets through everybody. And Eagan will spin it around here at the blue line and punch it free. Held in by Pink. Pink hands it off to Chandler. Chandler tried to sidestep one player. He's got teammates looking for changes. Quick shot there by Chandler. Centering pass by Cluck gets taken away by the defender for Eagan. Pink. Why are we constantly winning? Yep, same ref. Shaking his head. He knows what he did.
He said the wrong game.
All right. Another delayed offsides that didn't get called, but we're back to center ice. Face off. Eagan punches it up ahead. Now Cluck will dump it in from the Reds line. Eagan picks it up behind their net. Cross ice pass gets through everybody. Brody Johnson at the boards. Now Eagan carries it up ahead. Picked off by Warzeka, and he gets it up. Odick looking for Brody Johnson, shooting down the far wing. Now Cluck picks it off. Brody walks in, throws it in on net. That goes wide. Orzeka pinches in along the near boards. Puck hustling behind the net. Eagan clears out to the point. Quick shot there by Larson. Just sneaks through. Well, Hodick spins around, leaves it for Cluck. Cluck tried to leave a backhanded pass. Now Warzeka steps up. Cluck back to Hodick. Warzeka centering pass. Brody Johnson. His shot gets blocked. Now turnover. Hodick holds it in down low. Hodick gets pushed off the check. Be a physical game down low here. Cluck continues to battle. Eagan swipes at it and misses, and finally gets it out to center ice. Larson chips it back in, Spuds touch up, and make changes on the fly. Eagan through center ice. Up to the blue line. Pressure put on by Larson. He deflects a shot into the boards. Now Larson will skate away with it. Larson with a head of steam up the near side. Larson skates by everybody, clumps in, shot there, stick saved by the goaltender for Eagan. That pass picked off by Larson, he'll dump it back in. Eagan will turn around and bank it all the way up ahead. Odd man break out the shot there, just goes wide. Carter Lee up through center ice. Now it's Gustafson with Packle, 2-on-1. Gustafson's pass off the mark. Carter Lee shot. And a whistle. Not quite sure what the whistle was for. Oh, offsides is the call. So Spuds offside, 3:53 remaining here in the second period. Gustafson to take the face off. Carter Lee banks it out the far boards. Eagan able to clear. Gustafson picks off the loose puck. And Gustafson was afraid of being offside there. Klosterman leaves it for Packle. Packle skates through center ice. In all alone. Spins around. Gets pinched off along the near boards. Klosterman intercepts that exit pass. And finally, Eagan clears it back to center ice. Or Gustafson will retreat back with Sarian. Sarian gets brushed off the puck. Carter Lee to support. Centering pass, deflected away by Klosterman. Gustafson up to Lee. Lee gets a poke checked away. And Eagan clears back to center ice. Sarian battles to get the loose puck. He hands it off for Klosterman to pick it up. Klosterman skates through center ice, gets brushed off the puck, and lead pass up ahead now for Eagan. Eagan up ahead, sharp angle shot there, blocker saved by Welsh. Wow, that was almost too many men on Eagan. Loose puck picked up by Skank. Skank will dump it in. He'll spin around. Eagan will flip it. They're saying it's touched up. Welsh will send it up ahead to Judd. Judd tries to bank it off up ahead to Skank, but just out of his reach. Eagan back through center ice. Now up ahead. Good shot there, and Welsh will save that and squeeze it for a whistle. With 2:07 remaining here in the second period. Krebs controls out the faceoff. Lead pass up ahead for Judd. He doesn't quite catch up to it, and Eagan sends it back in. Now Krebs will settle things down from behind his own net. His pass intercepted. Now Pink, leave it for Krebs. Up ahead to Braden Chandler. Chandler up through center ice. Tries to split the D. He gets brushed off. Now Monroe Judd. Judd picks up the loose puck. He's looking for somebody to pass it to, but over there, but Eagan Green. Eagan back through center ice. Krebs lays out to block that pass and does. Nice play there by Krebs. And turns it over at center ice. Eagan will dump it in. Pink hustles to it in the near corner. Krebs now tries to clear. Held in at the point by Eagan. They go far side. Quick shot there. That deflected up over the net. Off some bodies. Now Skank. And we got a wrestling match going on in front of the net. That's not the call. So Krebs goes to the box for holding. I believe there's an Eagan player going to the box for slashing. I don't think that's the player that Krebs was in a wrestling match with down low. So matching minors, still 5-aside with just under a minute remaining here in the first period. Off the face-off, run around the boards, and that'll be an icing on Moorhead as Paco got turned around and didn't see it. 49 seconds remaining. Eagan controlled out to the point. Shot there. A lot of bodies up front. Eagan holds at the point. Sidestep one player shot. Saved by Wells. Now Eagan down low behind the goal line. Quick shot there. That goes wide right through the crease. Now in low, centering pass and scored. Moorhead looked absolutely lost in that play as they stood around watching Eagan move the puck around, and it leads to a centering pass and a goal. And they close the gap to 3-1 here with just 18.4 seconds remaining in the second period. Orzeka banks it off the boards out to center ice. Carter Lee leaves it for Paco. Paco in, quick shot there. That goes high up into the glass. Walter works in along the boards, and that's the end of period number 2. So after 2 complete periods of play, Moorhead leads Eagan 3-1. We'll go on mute here for about 10 minutes and come back for the third and final period after the Zamboni break. All right, here we are back for some third period action as Moorhead taking on Eagan. 3-1 here going into the third period. Spuds with the lead. And Walter Gustafson in to take the initial faceoff. Comes towards Zeka, chips it off the boards up ahead to tackle, and that's deflected up out of play. And we'll get a whistle right outside the Eagan zone. Faceoff comes to the near side. Larson will race to it and dump it in. Eagan banks it off the boards. Larson able to hold. Gustafson walks up the middle, hands it off to Packle. Packle, centering pass. Deflected away by the goaltender, and Eagan able to clear. Eagan with numbers, 3-on-1. Shot there, and Welsh takes that one off the cage and in. I'm not sure how that one got past Welsh. It went right off his helmet. You could hear it. And just like that, Eagan closes the gap to 3-2. Klosterman at the red line. Sidesteps one player, but now Eagan takes it away. Turnover at center ice. Eagan walks in, shot there, saved by Welsh up into the netting. Pluck will step in to take this face off. Eagan throws a shot that gets deflected high. Pink down in the corner. Now it's Cook. His pass is in the skates of Cluck. Now Scott's able to corral it. He'll skate it up ahead. Gets it poke checked away. Pink supports at the blue line to dump it in. Cluck digs it free, but Eagan able to control. Eagan throws it in on net. Welsh with a save. Cook unable to get a stick on it. Now it's loose. And Cook able to punch it out to center ice. Eagan will dump it in. That's an offside. Eagan dumped it in, went right off one of their players in the zone. I didn't think they were going to call offsides for a bit. 13:26 left here in the third. Spuds lead by a goal. Early third period goal by Eagan on a 3-on-1 break. Close the gap. Larson up along the right wing. He dumps it in deep. Chandler gives chase. Flipped out ahead by Eagan. Glove down by Larson. Now Eagan holds it into the blue line and dumps it deep. Eagan punches it to the near side. Larson punches it up ahead. Now Eagan holds and dumps it in low. Hayden Larson from behind his own net. His pass off the mark, but able to punch it free. Eagan dumps it in. Welsh will leave it for Sarian. Turnover, quick shot there. That goes high up into the netting. Moorhead, I think, left their skates in the locker room. We're not ready to roll here in the third period. Look a little slow out of the gate. 2.5 minutes gone by. Eagan was able to get an odd man break and close the gap 3-2. Quick shot there, saved by Welsh. Borzeka leaves it along the near boards. Now up front, quick shot there, saved by Welsh. On the turnover up front. Eagan looking for a centering pass. Everybody tied up front. quick shot there, and Welsh will glove that and hang on to it. Moorhead struggling to get some control of the puck here to alleviate the pressure. Pink tries to ring it around. That goes off an Eagan player. Now he leaves it to the far side for Warzeka. Warzeka tries to push it up to Packle. Now Warzeka cuts out the glass, and Packle will glove it down and get out to center ice. Packle softly drops it in on net. The goaltender kind of played with it a little too long. Spuds turn it back in. And Eagan banks it off the boards and out through center ice. Eagan up ahead with numbers 3-on-2. Big close out there by Cullen Pink. Pink leads the charge back the other direction. He'll go wide to the right, throws it on net. Rebound comes to Packle. His shot gets stick saved by Eagan. Now Gustafson down below the goal line. He finds Packle off his stick to Klosterman. Klosterman throws it in on net, and the goaltender for Eagan will glove that and hang on to it for a whistle. Cluck wins the faceoff back to Pink or to Klosterman. Klosterman down to Hodick. Puck hustles in behind the net for it. Now Brody Johnson pinches off the puck on the near boards. Larson holds it in the corner. And finally Eagan able to punch it free and flip it out to center ice. Pink or Klosterman gets it poke checked away. Get rid of it. Unable to clear the zone. And now Moorhead's on the scramble down below the net. Larson kicks it free. Larson gets it out to the zone. Eagan dumps it in, so still yelling offsides on Eagan, so they have to touch up. Now Klosterman banks it on the boards up the Cluck, gets past him. Eagan back through center ice. They'll dump it in deep. Klosterman will catch up with it. He'll leave it for Brody Johnson. Brody Johnson up to Soren. Punches up to the red line. Eagan spins it back the other direction. Now Pink fresh off the bench. Klosterman will hustle to it. Over in the corner. Klosterman up to center. Unable to clear. And Pink unable to corral that puck as it bounces up and Welsh will glove it down. .9:33 left here in the third. Spuds lead Eagan 3-2. Face off one back to the point by Eagan. They throw it wide into the corner. Monroe Judd hustles to it. Monroe clears the puck through the neutral zone. He'll hand it off to Chandler. Chandler, shot there, blocker saved by Eagan. Pink pitches in along the near boards. Skank steps up. He'll punch it free and out through center ice. Eagan splits the D. Centering pass deflected away by Pink. Eagan's shot to the point. Eagan will throw it in on net. Welsh will glove that and leave it for Monroe Judd. Monroe loses it at the blue line. Picked up by Skank. Eli Skank up ahead. Skank goes wide into the corner. Works behind the net. Stops. Shots. Quick shot there. Just hit the side of the net. Now to the point. Punches past Larson. Loose puck in the neutral zone. Now Larson will pick it up and carry it through center ice. Larson goes far to the far side. He'll dump it deep as Moorhead's finish up making changes. Oh, Warzeka steps in low. He throws a shot, goes right through the crease. And Larson will come back to center ice and get everybody onside. Tackles, pass across ice, hops over Gustafson's stick. Eagan will pick it up in their own zone. They cut through center ice. That pass off the mark, and Warzeka will turn it back the other direction. Warzeka hands it off to Carter Lee. Carter Lee dumps it in. He'll give chase. Carter Lee with 2 goals on the evening so far. Eagan chips it in. Klosterman gets to it. On the sideboard, Eagan centering pass. Gets over Packel's stick. Sharp angle shot there, goes wide. Quick shot there, blocker saved by Welsh. Up to the boards, and Carter Lee unable to punch it free. Eagan sidesteps 2 spuds, carries it in low. Quick shot there, and Welsh will squeeze the pads on that one and hang on to it for a whistle with 6:46 remaining here in the third. Spuds leading by a goal. Soaring puck in to take this face off. Controlled by Eagan. They throw one right through the crease. Eagan from behind the goal line. Centering pass blocked by Cullen Pink. Cullen creates a little room. Tries to pass it across the net. Centering pass. Comes out front. Boy, Moorhead really struggling to move the puck out of their own zone here in this third period. Finally picked off by Cluck. Soaring, odd man rush with Brody Johnson. Centering pass too far out of Johnson's reach. Cluck and Johnson down in the corner. Eagan picks it off. Gets it up through center ice. Larson kicks it out, soccer style, up to center ice. Now Eagan spins it back. 3-on-1. Shot there, saved by Wills. Loose puck out front, cleared away by Larson. Cluck unable to get it out of his zone. Now Eagan centering pass. Larson gets a skate on that, but Eagan able to pick up the loose puck. Cross ice pass tried to glove down by Brody Johnson. Now Eagan walks in. That shot goes high over the glass. And Brody Johnson will pick it up and fling it out to center ice. Eagan will send it in on net. And Wells will glove that down and hang on to it. Nope, the refs don't blow the whistle, as there's a delayed offsides. Moorhead still can't clear the zone. Centering pass. Moorhead really struggling here in the third to be able to get the puck out. Out to the point. Fanned on it and stolen away by Chandler. Chandler was Monroe Judd, 2-on-1. Judd's passing Chandler just out of his reach. Now Judd will pick it up behind the net. He leaves it for Chandler. Chandler now looking to center to Skank. And Eagan picks up the loose puck and carries back out to center ice. Skank tries to throw it in, but that goes off of a player. Welsh now leaves it for Sarian. Sarian loses it at the faceoff circle. Now poke checked away by Chandler. Chandler looking on the boards to Judd. And Judd able to chip it out to center ice. 4:15 remaining here in the third. Spuds leading by a goal. Braden Chandler spins around in his own zone, dumps it out to center ice. Eagan back through center ice, intercepted by Judd. Now he loses it. Eagan picks it up and carries it in wide on the near side. Warzeka pushes it wide of the corner. Turnaround shot goes off of a couple of bodies. Centering pass picked off by Chandler. Chandler gets it poked off his stick, and he'll turn around and head to the bench for a change. That pass gets past everybody without touching up, and that's an icing on Eagan. 3:36 left here in the third period. Spuds hanging on to a 1-goal lead. All the momentum is on Eagan's side in this third period. Moorhead left a little something in the gas tank back in the locker room. Walter takes his face off. Tackle unable to hold it in, and Eagan comes back through center ice. They punch it into the corner. Well, Fink hustles to it. Fink tries to center into Carter Lee. Stolen away there. Shot saved by Welch in the goal. Moorhead is really struggling here this third period to do anything with the puck, getting it out of their own zone. Eagan's winning all the battles, winning all the races. And now they tied it up at 3 apiece. .319 remaining here for Moorhead to figure out what it is that isn't working for him here this third period. Lee banks it up center ice, picked up by Eagan. Dumped in. Now Pink loses at the blue line. Eagan tries to dump it in. Poked free by Cullen Pink. Eagan dumps it in behind the net. Wells leaves it for Klosterman. Klosterman and Packle along the far boards. And Gustafson tries to clear, but Egan's there to hold it at the blue line. Pink hands it out to Klosterman. Up to the near side to Carter Lee. Carter Lee up ahead. Hands it off to Packle. Packle in behind the net. Centering pass. That goes off some bodies up front. Larson shot. That hits some bodies up front. Now Gustafson chases after it. Step up by Warzeka along the near boards. Gustafson steps up to hold it in. Eagan will retrieve it behind the goal line. Now Larson from the near side. Quick shot there. Glove and hung on to by the goaltender from Eagan with 2:08 remaining here in the third. Eagan from their own zone. Eagan skates around 3 Spuds. Now gets past the fourth, saved by Welsh, and he'll glove onto that one. Moorhead got completely blown away there by number 5 for Eagan. He blew past everybody. Walking to take this face off. Larson kicks it to the corner. Puck comes up front where Warzeka will pick it up. Warzeka up ahead to Brody Johnson. Brody gets up to the red line, dumps it in. Minute 40 remaining here in the third. Hodek. First to it in the corner. Now it comes loose behind the net. Eagan will pick it up. Now up to center ice. Eagan drop pass. Comes in low where Larson will pick it up. Larson banks it up to the boards. Held in by Eagan at the point. And will also glove that and hang on to it. 1:10 remaining here in the third. All knotted up at 3 apiece. Skankin to take this face off. Klosterman battles for it down low. Comes to the near side to Chandler. Chandler throws it low where Klosterman and the Eagan player were tied up. Now Skank up for it. Skank tries to punch it free. Eagan dumps it in. They have to touch up and get onside. Klosterman leaves it for Skank. Eagan player crashes into the net. Now Pink, centering pass up to Skank. Skank up ahead with Chandler, 2-on-2. Drops it off to Judd, cutting down the middle. Judd loses it right at the moment. Pink tries to throw a shot on net. Comes loose. Chandler throws a backhander. 22 seconds remaining. Eagan now around to the near side. They control up through center ice. Poke checked away by Braden Chandler. Braden Chandler steals it away. 9 seconds remaining. Braden Chandler sidesteps, could hang on to it, and it goes rolling into the corner. And that will be the end of regulation play. And that looks like we end in a tie the way these teams are acting. Not sure here if anybody knows what the deal is. So after 3 periods of play, we're all tied up at 3 apiece. Spuds are heading for the locker room. So there will be no overtime here today. So from the Cullen Hockey Center and the Bushy Rink, Spuds and Eagan end up tied up 3-3. These two teams will face off again tomorrow morning at 9:30, I believe it is. So thanks for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at the rink.